Hi friends, my name is Hannah from Hannah B Flute, and today I thought it would be fun to do a bit of a different type of video. So I don't know about you, but some of my favorite videos to watch on YouTube are people reacting to Am I the A-hole or AITA stories from the subreddit of the same name. I also like just reading stories on my own, but for today's video, I thought I would do a music version. So I chose 3 stories randomly. I have only read the titles of them, so this will be a blind reaction. So let me know if you like this video. Leave your judgments down in the comments and subscribe for more videos. All right, so first up, I have my iPad here. We have Am I the a-hole for not moving my music room? To start off, I live in a 2-bedroom apartment. It's for low-income families, but at the moment it's just me. I'm a music student with both bass and drums. I use my furthest bedroom as my music room where I practice. The way the floor plan is set up, the apartment to my left mirrors mine, but the one to my right is opposite and only 1 floor. I've lived here for the last 6 years and have gotten along with my neighbors. Last month, a new couple moved in the left 1 apartment with a newborn. So this looks like it's the one, next, the one that mirrors. Maybe a week old at that point, so now a month. I'm unsure how they had it set up for the first 2 weeks, but 2 weeks ago I was practicing on the drums and it was interrupted by pounding on the door because I woke the baby up. I apologized and double-checked my soundproofing, padding, but also have a drum booth, but found no gaps. The sound is muffled but loud enough to be heard in the mirrored room, but nowhere else in the other apartment. I know that based on the guy that lived there before. A few days later, it happened again while practicing, and I noticed I could hear the baby crying almost perfectly. I got in a screaming match with the husband, and we got the apartment manager to come out and settle it. Turns out they put the kid's crib right on the other side of the wall where my drum is set up. The couple said that was the only room with the amount of natural light they wanted for the kid. They told me to move the room I used for music, and I agreed as long as they footed the bill for the soundproofing, and they called me an a-hole. Now they have been calling in nonstop noise complaints. So there's an edit, but first, that's a tough one because OP has been there before, and they're a music student, which means you need to practice a lot. You need a comfortable place to practice. And it's not like he just set up his stuff and practiced. He did get soundproofing. So I would say no, they're not the a-hole, because I think while it is reasonable for the parents to want a quiet space for their baby and for the baby to not live right next to a practice room, with soundproofing, that is expensive and it takes time and money to take down from one room and install in another. Now the edit says, the couple actually agreed the only room they could hear the drums in was the 1 room. However, they like the lighting in there, so they won't move the baby. The neighbors on the other side were surprised to find out I had drums. The only 2 rooms you can hear the drums are the ones that share a wall, and it sounds muffled as if someone in the room with you was watching a loud YouTube video. Yeah, that edit doesn't change anything for me. Not the a-hole. I think the couple, if they are insistent on their baby sleeping in this room for natural light, you just foot the bill. He's been there longer, so that's my judgment. Do you agree with me? Do you not? Share your thoughts in the comments. Okay, the next one is juicy. Am I the a-hole for telling my brother, male, 12 years old, that he should be working hard if he wants to have a music career? Oh God. So it says, he told me how he wants to be a musician someday. I told him how if he is even a little bit interested, he needs to put himself out. I assume they mean out there. In my opinion, I feel like everyone needs a certain level of social presence. Then they edited to add, I meant YouTube specifically as it's easier to observe, especially if you want a career in entertainment and how connections are key. He's a very talented kid. He can play a lot of instruments and has a very good singing voice. He could do vibrato when he was 8. Wow, vibrato at 8, that's crazy. I also told him how it sucks, but you do get more traction when you're younger. So if he posts himself singing or playing instruments now, there's a good chance that his path in making a job out of it would be easier as opposed to not posting anything. So there is another edit, not in the initial paragraph, which I'll read in a minute. At first, I understand where OP is coming from because starting a music career is very difficult. I'm kind of pivoting my career now and it's very hard. I have to, do a lot of planning and networking and pitching. The thing that gets me though is that the brother's 12. And while that is old enough to understand the importance of putting yourself out there and making content, a lot of social media, especially with what some state legislatures are trying to pass, like 13 is the minimum. So he would probably need to get help from his parents or from his brother, or sister, OP, assuming they're older. So I think it's good that OP is giving their brother like a bit of a reality check, but also if I was the parent, I'd be concerned with a child that young getting on social media on their own. So the edit says, thank you guys for your advice. I guess after years of being under the scrutiny of my parents, I'm starting to project droplets of the very same ideologies I was once against. I'd like to state that I wasn't forcing him. At the time, that was my only suggestion I had based on what I knew and the state of the industry at my place. I also now understand the harm of posting online, especially as a minor. It's better to be on the safer side. Y'all can lower your pitchforks now. Yeah, so I'm glad they understood that with kids, it's just, you can never be too safe. There are a lot of good people on the internet, but there are a lot of bad people on the internet. So, all right, the last one for today. If you guys like this, please comment below. Let me know. I can do a part 2. I can maybe narrow it down specifically to flute or classical music or any other related topics. So now, this one is, am I the a-hole for asking my girlfriend if she could play more normal music at home? And yes, those were in quotation marks. So this Redditor says, my girlfriend has an ... eclectic music taste that we had a big argument about last night. We live together and have a great sound system in the shared areas of the house, like the kitchen, living room, dining room. And when I play music, I usually put on an album or two to listen to straight through. My girlfriend likes to put on playlists, and last night she put on, in this order, I honestly just have to write out this playlist because it's that crazy. Friends in Low Places by Garth Brooks, which is a very country song. The Thieving Magpie Pipe, yeah, they misspelled that, Magpie by Rossini, an intense classical music song. Then Pink Rover by Scene Queen, a weird metal pop mix. Then Dangerous by Cascada, a 2000 pop song. Then Dogma by KMFDM, this metal/electronic song with spoken word lyrics. After that point, I asked her if she could just pick one playlist or album or at least something more normal and put it on because her music was kind of all over the place. Oh my God. Okay. She said that she was playing a playlist she made and that it was what she wanted to listen to when she was doing chores. I, kind of joking around, but also a little annoyed, asked what kind of playlist it was because it seemed unhinged. She was like, it's my cleaning playlist. It's just good music to get up and move around or dance to, like high energy stuff, you know? I was like, there's girly pop, classical music, and industrial noise in there, though. And she was like, yeah, that's some of what I like. Yeah, I agree with the girlfriend. Oh my God. I asked her if she could put on something a little less chaotic, and she said she was cleaning our kitchen. The least I could do is not talk poop about her music tastes. I was like, but you've got to realize it's a little out there, right? And she was like, nah, these are all bangers. Why are you being such a D word? I don't talk poop when you want to listen to the same 3 bands every day. She was getting really annoyed with me, so I dropped it. And she played another hour or so, honestly the most random playlist I've ever heard. I feel kind of conflicted because on one hand, her music was weird AF, and I feel like it's just common courtesy to play stuff that's at least kind of chill and could be background music in a shared space, instead of like the most intense or weird song from every genre possible. But on the other hand, I kind of got the impression she doesn't love my music either and just never said anything till I did. Am I at the a-hole for asking my girlfriend to put something more normal on? Yes, OP is definitely the a-hole in this situation. Who cares? I like pop, I like classical, I like indie rock. You know, on a given day, I can listen to anything from Selena Gomez to Ariana Grande to Imagine Dragons to like old, Disney Channel stuff. Granted, that's not as broad as this OP's girlfriend, but it's, oh my God, no. Yes, this OP is definitely in the wrong. Your girlfriend should be able to play whatever music she wants to play. Who cares? And if it's that big of a problem, go into a different room. All right, so those were 3 music stories on Reddit's AITA subreddit. So just again to recap, for the first one about not moving the music room, I think that they are not in the wrong, at least not for asking the couple to pay for soundproofing or to move the soundproofing. The brother or the sibling telling their brother that he should be working hard if he wants to have a music career. Again, that's a tough one. A little bit in the wrong. But I also see that, young teenagers and preteens who want to go into music should like have an idea of how tough it can be. And for the last one, absolute a-hole. So do you agree with me? Do you not? Let's start a discussion down in the comments. And again, comment below if you want me to do a part 2 of this. There aren't a ton of music AITA posts, so it probably won't be super frequent if I do make this a series. But yeah, this was really fun to make. And so leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more videos.